going to get worse over time, but, you know, I don't know. I don't get it. But we do have a lot to actually get through today, and we're gonna have to be careful how we do this because we're going to be talking about copyrighted material, but I need to make sure that we don't get hit with a copyright strike. So there'll be no audio. But one thing we are going to talk about, and I watched it today at like 5 a.m. Again, is Exposed Pro Wrestling Greatest Secrets. We're going to be talking about that / jumping back and forward as this goes on because it is like 40 minutes. So it's going to be fun. I actually I actually can't wait to talk about this, man.
Oh, I haven't watched that in so long. It's so awful.
It's not awful. It's great. Like I love it, man. I think, you know, if because it's bits of it you're like, oh, when you're a kid, you know, it was just totally different to everything else that was on television ever. And it also tied it.
It made learning about the craft of wrestling so accessible.
Yeah.
And so interesting. But then, like, once you get to a point where you're kind of used to when you're kind of used to the idea that there's a lot of work that goes into making it a work.
Yeah.
A lot of it becomes really insanely dumb.
I know, but like I'm just flashing through some of the names here, like Brute Force and the All-American Boy, and you know, it's so hammy, but so great at the same time. You know, like it wouldn't be until many years later that I realized who these guys actually were. You know, and some of the names actually, I don't know if you know some of the names or not, but it's pretty interesting. You know, like obviously not their shoot names or even their actual proper names were used, you know, but like what originally, like when did you see this originally?
I found it online. I watched it, I want to say around 2007. I'd say was the first time I saw it.
So did you not watch this as an adult? No, as a child rather.
No, I never saw it as a child.
Oh man. Oh, we're coming at this from totally different perspectives then, because I remember watching this as a child. Like when it came out, it used to be on. Well, Breaking the Magician's Code was a thing that was on at the same time, and that always used to be on Sky One, like all the time, pretty much ad nauseam.
I didn't have Sky as a kid, so.
All right, weird.
Yeah.
That is weird, but like yeah, and this always was on, you know. Obviously, I didn't know who a lot of the wrestlers were and stuff like that, but it's pretty surprising. Like now, obviously, the most obvious one is the voiceover guy is the guy who played Salem.
Yeah.
The cat from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, who also is a huge wrestling fan, which is weird in and of itself. And Harley Race plays the Booker, which is kind of interesting.
That is.
Huh?
That is odd.
But this was all filmed. It was filmed in the Grand Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles, and pretty much it's, if you look at it straight away, it's pretty much an empty arena match. You know, like there's some of the clips there. Like it looks like a mix between a WWE house show and a WCW event. You know. But it is pretty cool. Like they cover most of the main things on it, like different kind of moves, like the body slam, and you know, then it goes into weapons and stuff like that, and explains actually how the show works. But learning from
up to the ring and
like I don't know. There's a couple of things in it that I'm not 100% sure actually happens or happened. You know. Like the mic under the ring thing makes a lot of sense because if you've been to a independent promotion that doesn't do that, you can clearly tell there is a difference in, you know, even the most basic work moves that they do, you know. But yeah, this was shown an awful lot. WWE also got incredibly upset after it, and they released a statement saying that, quote, NBC has hired a bunch of bitter, masked wannabe pro wrestlers that couldn't make the cut. And then they said that the real secret to professional wrestling was, quote, all of the WWE superstars sacrificed their body and souls to entertain the fans.
How long after that did Vince come out and say it was fake?
This was way before. This was way after it. This was like 1998. Sorry, it was filmed. Sorry, it was aired on the 1st of November 1998 and released on VHS in 1999. So this is well after he made his infamous "we're pushing the envelope" kind of speech that we use as a bumper sometimes on the show. It's funny, man. It's traditional wrestling. You know, it's like, oh, we're going to insult you and say that you actually don't know what you're talking about when. Quite obviously they did, because it gets through most of it. I have some of the names here. Ben Hurt was Adam Pearce.
Yeah.
Private Payne was Del Wilkins. Skullduggery was Dovin Morrigan. Slither, are you ready for who Slither was?
Who?
Christopher Daniels.
Ha! No way.
Way. Brash Knuckles was Brent Albright, or Gunnar Scott on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And the masked referee is a guy called Roland Alexander.
Oh God!
Right. So Gary Wolf played Brute Force, who was Pitbull 1 in ECW, and Colossus was Pitbull 2 in ECW, and also Harley Race was the booker. So there you go. And the All-American boy was a guy called Modest Mike, who apparently is a journeyman in the independent scenes. But no, man, I really enjoyed a lot of this. I thought some of it was kind of lame, but it was also an awful lot of fun as well. Yeah. There's a bit where they're explaining how the rope rake works. And,
yeah.
Oh man, it's so fun. Like, it's just because it's so silly at the same time, but I enjoyed it, and it's an expose that should not be an expose at the same time, But yeah, when you're watching some of these guys work, it does kind of, it's stuff that we all knew about. You know what I mean? Like, they're pulling their punches, they're actually not hitting each other. They're calling the calling spots thing in the ring actually is pretty entertaining, because Cena still does it all the time. Even
far too loud.
Yeah, these guys are using mics when they're calling their spots, but Cena doesn't need it, and it raises an interesting question. These guys are wearing body mics, actually on when they're doing the show, but WWE increasing its production over the past couple of years has probably actually revealed a bit too much. I would say, because you can hear a lot in the ring,
Well, yeah, you can hear spot calling way easier now. Well, mainly from Raw, from the main roster. I mean, I haven't really noticed that much spot calling on NXT, which is weird because it's the same setup.
Yeah.
But then again, even there's it seems to be the same culprits over and over again with who talks too much.
Yeah.
On people just need to work on their volume. I don't get it though. I mean, I don't get how someone could, how it hasn't been said to Cena or a few of the other culprits of going, do you want to not speak so loudly in the ring? Everyone at home can hear you.
Well, it's Cena, so he's not going to be. It's not going to be something that would be necessarily said, but it's interesting because when these guys are doing it, they're calling, all pretty much in one or two spurts, compared to nowadays when you hear guys call entire matches pretty much. You know what I mean? Like, it would be, in this example, he calls 4 or 5 moves. Cena would pretty much call them as he's doing them, and it's really not good. It's really, really second rate and shoddy,
Well, I suppose that, the thing is that, as time goes on, matches have more and more spots in them. A comeback sequence used to be 2 moves.
Yeah.
Now it's 5, 6, 7 moves. In one sequence.
I think that would, but does it reveal the business a bit too much? When you know what you're looking for, is it something that has hurt things overall.
I don't. Well, the thing is, it's like it's just because like the biggest culprits are some of the biggest stars right now.
Yeah.
That's why it is what makes it a problem. I think I'm trying to think of like of something to equate it to from another medium. To because like I don't think it's necessarily like I don't think it's necessarily the worst thing for people for it to take people out of the illusion of it, because I mean wrestling's hard to believe at the best times anyway.
Well, yeah, but it's it depends what it is.
Yeah.
If it's good competitive kind of Will Ospreay Ricochet match, that's not going to be it's not going to be real. To use the wrong
That's
term.
like Daniel Bryan CM Punk match.
Yeah, you kind of want to get into it, But if it's
And again, those two weren't culprits of spot calling, where you'd openly, brazenly hear them call spots.
Yeah, but you know what you're getting into there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if it's a blood feud between two guys the Batista Triple H match,
Yeah.
if they were calling spots when they're supposed to be killing each other, it takes you out of it,
That's how I mean, if they're calling it in the ring, that's what they have to do. Like Austin called all the spots in the ring,
but you never once heard it.
Yeah, that's because he was good at his job. Like, I mean, the thing is that there's a lot of things that you can complain about Cena for, but the fact of the matter, he's there because he day in day out gets a reaction. He sells merchandise day in day out. That's that trumps everything crappy he does in the ring. You can say that he's this, that, and the other, but the fact of the matter is, people pay to see him.
Yeah.
You can't you can go, he throws a terrible work punch. People pay to see him throw terrible work punches.
People want that terrible work punch.
Yeah. Say what you want. That's the way it is. People go I don't understand why he's popular. I get why he's popular. It's just it has nothing to do with his quality of with his quality work. Granted, he's had some great matches in his career, but it's never been he's the reason why the match is great. He's in great matches.
Yeah, that's true. He works up. He's a lot like we've said it before, like Batista or some other guys who, if they have someone to work up and someone to carry them, they're going to have a great match. Yeah.
The top three guys from that, or the top, three of the guys from that class from 2002 from OVW, Orton, Batista, and Cena, all are guys who work great matches with legit talent. Even Shelton Benjamin, same deal. Work great matches with great talent.
Exactly. Well, Shelton Benjamin, I think, has a lot of...
he just never got to show it. That's the problem.
He got to show it in spurts here and there, but never actually got to show it in any real capacity, which is a really, really sad thing, because that guy was just so talented.
Yeah. It says a lot that JR said in this podcast that WWE failed him. He's had not the other way around.